For a long time, I felt behind in life. I'd watch videos of people waking up at 4 a.m., hitting the gym, working 12 hours a day, hitting the gym again, doing it flawlessly on repeat. And honestly, as much as I desire to be that high performing person, some days I just don't have that energy. And through the years, I've come to realize that high performance is way less about being a machine and it's more like managing a budget. See, research in cognitive load theory shows that our brains have a finite amount of mental bandwidth. When that bandwidth is deleted, effort doesn't really matter. For example, if you have that feeling where it feels like you're constantly trying and you're never really making headway with something, that might be because it has less to do with your desire and ability and more to do with your actual capacity for your energy. So in this video, I want to share 3 things that help me stay productive even when I feel like my battery is at 20% or lower. And at the end of the video, I'll show you a simple awareness and tracking tool that I use that you can use right away to help navigate your personal energy levels. Let's get into it. Number 1, the night before setup. So typically when my energy is low, I feel like getting started is the hardest part. And this is what's referred to as activation cost. So something that I like to do is I will get started on tomorrow, today. And this is doing the little things like I'll lay out the clothes that I'm going to wear, I'll fill my kettle with water for making coffee the next day, or I'll make a list of things that I want to get done, and I'll do this all before going to bed. There's another term for this in psychology, and it's called inflammation intentions. By deciding the where and when ahead of time, you save your energy to do the actual work. This is really effective for me because I don't use my morning brain to make decisions, I'll use it to execute. And for someone like me, that's really important because I feel like I have the most effective energy when I wake up in the morning. Number 2, strategic boredom. Typically in a low energy state, our instinct is to do things like doom scroll on our phone. We think it's rest, but scrolling is actually high input. And typically, especially for me, this becomes something called passive consumption. And passive consumption is where I think I'm doing something that's helping me recover or recharge my battery, but it's not really an active recovery. So something that I try to do to prolong my energy or stretch my energy out through the day so that I don't do all of my passive consumption at once is I'll try to take 5 or 10 minutes between tasks just to sit. And for me, it's really important that I try to sit with no phone, no podcast. And basically what this is supposed to do is it allows the default network in your brain to kind of reset. It's sort of like refilling your energy budget midday. And this taught me a lot because something I found interesting is when I come home in the evening, typically after going to the gym, instead of watching videos on my computer or TV, I'll do things like I'll put on a record or I'll make some tea. Maybe I flip through a coffee table book or I'll just lay there and listen. And while yes, this is sort of the same activity level as just doom scrolling on my phone, watching YouTube or watching TV, what I find is that this fills my cup in a different way and I feel a lot less guilt and a lot less shame. I feel more productive or even a little bit more creative. And this affects my energy because it's not like I'm constantly consuming because I'm following burnout. It feels like I'm filling my cup in a version of self-care, which thus recharges my battery. Number 3 is doing something that I like to call maintenance mode. When I'm not feeling energetic, something I do is I stop trying to do deep work. Instead, I switch into what can be referred to as maintenance mode. Research on attention residue suggests that all those tiny unfinished tasks, what they're doing is they're actually draining your mental bandwidth. And these are the things like all your unread emails, all your unread texts, a messy desktop, a pile of clutter on your desk, all that laundry sitting there in a pile. It's all the stuff that I like to refer to as the unimportant, important stuff. When I have high energy, these types of things feel like a waste of time. But when I'm low energy, they're actually perfect things for me to do. And when I'm in this maintenance mode, what it does is it clears a path for my high energy Jeff. By batching the boring stuff now, I'm protecting my focus later, so that when I do have high energy, I'm not using it on the things that I feel to be less important tasks. So there are 3 things that I do that help me stay productive even when I'm not feeling productive. So now I want to give you a simple tool that I use to help me track my energy. So for this, you can use a pen and paper, a digital doc, you can use a spreadsheet, notes app, honestly, whatever works for you. What I love this tool most for, or what I find it to be really great at, is building awareness around how you spend your energy. Because sometimes we don't know where our energy is going until we can physically see it somewhere like on a page. Another reason why I love doing this is because tracking helps you see patterns, which can help you analyze where your energy is spent allowing you to determine if that's how you want to spend it or not. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to check in with 4 categories that are surrounded around energy: your mental energy, your physical energy, your emotional energy, and what I like to call your general vibe, or maybe you can call it your focus. So your mental energy is your mental capacity. This is a little bit ambiguous, but I think that a lot of people understand what I mean when I say mental energy. It might mean something different to you. Your physical energy is more simple. It's kind of how your body feels. Your emotional energy, why it might seem similar to your mental energy, it is different in the fact of your emotions. So really angry, really sad, really happy, really depressed. And your general vibe, or what I like to refer to as my focus, is just sort of your energy in general. So there are some times where I can feel really happy, but I don't feel really productive. There are times when I can feel really sad or depressed, and I feel incredibly productive. This one's a little bit, you get to kind of pick and choose what that means to you. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go beside each category and you're going to give it a ranking. So 1 being empty, 2 being a little closer to empty, but not quite, 3 being energy, and 4 being the most energy that you possibly have. But here's the important part. Depending on how you're feeling, how comfortable you are with this tool, you don't have to fill them all out. Maybe you only have an answer for 1 of them. That's enough to sometimes just start exploring the question. And it kind of will tell you everything that you need to know. So again, I often struggle with mental energy, but I can really determine my physical energy and my emotional energy and my general focus. But the times where my mental energy is really high or really low, I really notice it, so I might focus there. Something that I do, if you don't know this by now, I'm a huge journaler. So what I like to do is I like to check in once in the morning and once again at night. I love doing that because what it does is it shows me throughout each day how things have changed. And when I can focus on that, it really allows me to hone in as to what gave me energy and what took my energy away. But feel free to be flexible. You can do this every day. You can do this once a week. You can just simply do this when you're feeling stuck. As long as you're checking back in and understanding, there really isn't a rule as to how often or how much you need to do this. Now, I want to be clear again, this won't resonate with everyone. But something that's fascinating is that when you see the numbers start to drop, you'll start to notice that what might need attention and how you might need to give it that attention. And when you see the numbers start to rise, you might understand and get an idea as to why. It's going to be pretty impossible to feel like you have 100% of the energy 100% of the time. So knowing what to do when you don't have 100% energy and knowing how to spend it when you have it, I find is really important to my productivity. You'll also start to notice different things. Like for me, I noticed that certain times of the day I had more energy or less energy. So focusing on what's important when I have it and doing more low energy activities or even self-care activities when I didn't was incredibly helpful. You may also notice that certain places or certain people will fill you up or drain you. For example, I love having the opportunity to work from home. But after about 3 or 4 days of not changing out of my pajamas all day, I need to shake up the scenery. So what I'll do is I'll go to like a cafe or a library, and even though the people around me I'm not working with, just switching that environment, just switching that energy, it'll impact my performance. I'm curious though, what's your go-to habit when you're feeling low energy? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful and you want to see more, just click one of the 2 boxes that you see that pop up on your screen. I'll see you over there. Until next time, I'm Jeff Turner. Remember to take care of yourself however that looks to you.